Soldiers are severely injured from an explosion on an Israeli Navy ship and are treated on the deck. Minutes later, a man falls off that deck. An inflatable boat is quickly deployed to the water for an urgent search and rescue mission. Once he is found and brought in, a helicopter is called to evacuate all those injured to the nearest hospital. It is all part of a major drill held by the Israeli Navy this week, but at any moment, it could become the reality.
These events can always happen. A scenario in which our sailors fall to sea or war injuries can happen, and we need to be able to deal with them. This is what this drill is meant for.
The drill, called Crystal Waters, had another important aspect to it. It is held along with the navies of Greece and Bulgaria, both NATO members. Israel may not be a NATO member itself, but this drill carries a clear message to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
The purpose of the exercise is to let NATO the understanding that Israel is first an ally, and secondary, it can be a base for NATO force operating in the Mediterranean Sea to bring injuries, if needed, to the Rambam Hospital and to all hospitals in Israel.
The exercise is held just off the Israeli port of Haifa, deep in Israeli territorial waters. But those operating on the strip know that in the future it can develop into something bigger and far away from Israel's shores.
This drill and others planned in the future will enable cooperation between our ships and ships from other fleets. In case something happens in their waters, we'll be able to come and assist them.
The maritime arena became very active recently, with Israel and Iran blaming each other for striking ships at sea. The waters of the eastern Mediterranean are full of activity, some friendly and some hostile, with this being a main route to the ports of Lebanon and Syria. The Navy is in charge of enabling Israeli ships to travel freely, and soon enough, it might be assisted by its allies.
The Israeli Navy will be whenever the freedom of movement at sea is needed. If it's here, if it's the Red Sea, we will be there. This strategic cooperation with NATO and with all the navies around us is very important for us.
A NATO helicopter with Greek pilots is on its way to transfer these injured Israelis to a hospital in Haifa. For now, it is only a drill, but in the future, this could be the reality as the interests seem to coincide between Israel and NATO allies. Jonathan Regev, I-24 News.